ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Okay, let's stop it right there, dude. To be honest, we know it's just guys on this
Reverse,
show.
reverse.
Welcome back to all the gentlemen that watch this show. I don't think we have women watch this show at all, but welcome back. It's Beat the Book. I'm one of your hosts, MattyBets, joined by BigAL Bettor. We're back to bring you guys another Sunday Night Football video. It's week 13 already. The year is just flying by. I can't believe we've already done. I don't even know how many videos we've done here, but we're cruising right through it. Season's going right through. We see the playoff picture a little bit clearer. We know the pretenders. We know the contenders. We'll jump into it right after a couple words from Big Al. Big Al, how you doing?
I am doing good. We have 2.3% of our viewers are women. So shout out to the 2.3%. And I think they tune in more for the Bills games because Allen's such a heartthrob. But sorry, ladies, he's taken. He's engaged now. So you guys missed your chance.
You did indeed. Congrats to him. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Great segue into the game. We got Niners going to Buffalo, play against the Bills. Bills are 5.5-point favorites in this game. Not a big shocker there. Niners have been kind of middle of the pack team, even with McCaffrey back, haven't really looked that great. And then we got the over/under set at 44.5, and it's gonna be a lot of snow. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be snowing. How do you see this game going?
Yeah, so I kind of went a little back and forth on this. I think we all want the Niners to be what the Niners were last year, but unfortunately they're not. They're all banged up. They're all hurt. Bosa is still questionable. I don't know if he's even going to play in this game. Without him, their pass rush is nowhere near what it used to be. McCaffrey's starting to turn it on, but he's not last year's McCaffrey or 2 years ago's McCaffrey, and Purdy's dealing with that shoulder. So I think it's just too much, especially on the road. It's going to be cold. It's going to be snowing. They're from California. You know the game. So I'm on -6 with the Bills, which it's 6 on DraftKings. If I could play FanDuel, obviously I'd pull the half point down, but I can't. So, so +5 or -5.5, -6, whatever number you can get. But I am on the Bills on this one. As far as the over/under 44.5, I do think the Niners are like a wounded animal. They're still gonna, if you try to touch them, they're still gonna bite. So I like the over here, not by a lot, but by a little bit. The last 3 games, the Bills have gotten into the 50s, so that's good. And when the Niners have played good football, which I think they'll show up for this game, they've gotten into the 50s as well. So over half their games have gotten over this number. As of late, they haven't gotten to this number, but half their games on the season have gotten to this number. So I like the over here. I think Purdy comes out, plays a good game. I think the Niners look really good, but just unfortunately lose by a touchdown at the end of the game.
Okay. I'm right there with you, lockstep. I'm on the Bills -5.5, and then also on the over in this game. I know it might scare some people just because it's going to be bad weather, but it's still the Bills. They're from there, so I see the Bills scoring at least 30. Josh Allen just got engaged. He's got a lot to play for now. So I think emotions will be high in a good way for the Bills. And then, like you said with the Niners, they haven't been terrible. They're still middle of the pack. Like, they're not a bad football team. They're just not what we expected them to be this year or what we hoped that they would be this year either. So I still see the Niners scoring some points. Like you said, they're from Cali, so we could see a really bad game from the Niners, but I just don't see it happening that way. Like, at the end of the day, it's still the National Football League any given Sunday, right? The
Yep.
Niners will still score points regardless of the weather. Like, the talent on that team is still all there. Just a matter of if they could put it together on Sunday night.
I will say too, like we've talked, you and I off camera. I don't know if I've said it much on camera, but like we've been talking about the Bengals and how good Joe Burrow's been playing, and like you don't want to see this team if they do get to the playoffs. I think the same could be said for the Niners, and they're right. They're only 1 game back, or maybe 2 games in their division. So like everything's still kind of in front of them with how that division is because it's so close. So they could still make it in the playoffs, and if they do make it to the playoffs and stitch together some big wins, nobody wants to play the Niners in the first round of the playoffs either. So they are kind of like the Bengals-esque, except for they've had better games so far this season than the Bengals have had. They're not out. It's just they don't look right. And until we see them look right, we're going to have to fade them a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Especially against a team like the Bills, where it's not even really fading them, just take them at face value. The Bills are a way
Right.
better team. Bills are the second best team in the football right now. So, not record wise, but they beat the Chiefs. So, in my power rankings, I'd have them above the Chiefs.
Right.
So,
They've only lost twice. They're like the Eagles.
yep, exactly. So, but moving on, let's jump into our 4-pick parlays that we got for you guys. Thanksgiving was not kind to us. Thanksgiving was really weird. Weird
Brutal.
games, weird over-unders. Like, the Lions game didn't cover the over. We had some weird games. 4-pick parlays didn't go the way that we wanted to. I hit mine for the Dolphins-Packers game. That one was good. We kind of slam dunked that game, though. except for me
Yep.
because I was on the under in that game. But whatever. Moving on, we'll do this 4 pick parlay for you guys. I got Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. I think McCaffrey, like you said, he's back. Not the McCaffrey of old that we've grown to know and love for the Niners, but he's still the bell house or the bell cow over there. And then we got James Cook, 90 plus rushing and receiving yards. I mean, if it's snowing in this game, I think both teams are going to run the ball a lot of check down passes. They're not going to be trying to go super deep when it's snowy out and super cold. Just trust the running backs over the receivers. And we're also doing the same for McCaffrey too at 90 plus rushing and receiving. And then last we got Juwan Jennings at 5+ catches. He's kind of like the go-to guy over there, especially when Purdy's playing. Purdy loves Juwan Jennings, so I like that right there for 5 catches. And that parlay pays out plus 857.
857.
Yep,
And that is on which book?
that is over on FanDuel. The idea behind
Honestly,
the two running backs is just if it is going to be snowing, both teams are going to be running the ball quite a bit. So then you get the rushing and receiving because both these running backs like catching the ball. So I think 90 yards for each of them is pretty gettable for rushing and receiving. And then you got the McCaffrey touchdown, and then Juwan Jennings is kind of just a safety blanket over there. So
absolutely. And I was looking. I mean, I don't know about James Cook's numbers, but we know he's been having a McCaffrey getting in the end zone. He's the favorite in this game, so that's no shocker there. Jennings has actually had an incredible year, especially with Debo going down, and then with the struggles early on in the year with receivers, he's been just killing it. So I don't hate that. And when I was doing my research on McCaffrey, he's gone over 100 in 2 of the 3 games he's played. The game he didn't go over, he got to like 70. So that should be a gettable number. The odds are in the favor of him getting to 100 again, especially like you said, if the weather plays a factor. And if Purdy's got a bad shoulder and can't throw it deep, it's going to be much more check downs. And who are we checking that thing down to?
CMC baby, keep her moving.
Right, exactly. Yep. So, no, I actually kind of like that one.
Yep, the only one that you
Lot.
wouldn't like in that would be the McCaffrey touchdown.
No, but like I said, he is the favorite in the game, and we know what the Niners are, and they like power football, get in your face, and especially once again, I trust Shanahan if he knows his quarterback is not 100%. He's not going to have Purdy go out there and throw it 35 times with a busted up arm in bad weather.
Yeah, instead of Purdy throwing it 35 times, they'd rather run the ball with McCaffrey 30 times. Like
25
maybe.
times with McCaffrey and 10 times with Jordan Mason. Yeah, I think.
hmm But let's jump into yours. What do you got for me?
Okay, mine's pretty simple. I've got Josh Allen to throw 2 touchdowns. He's had 2 games so far this season where he only threw 1. And that last week he threw 1, and week 2 he threw 1. After he throws 1, he throws 4 to the next week. So he always bounces back. So I'm playing the bounce back with Josh Allen. It's also a plus money play. Then I have Brock Purdy to throw 2 touchdowns. Obviously, we just talked about how we think this is going to be more of a run-centered game. But I think Purdy's a gamer, kind of like, not quite like Baker, but close to Baker. He shows up in big moments, big games. So I like Purdy to just come out and have a great game. So Purdy 2 touchdowns. Then Josh Allen under 32.5 rushing yards. Last 2 games he's rushed for 50 plus, but in a bunch of his other games he's been under 20. So I just think he's been hot running. This week he won't. So I'm taking the under on his line. 32.5 is his line. And then my final pick is Christian McCaffrey, 75 plus rushing plus receiving yards. Like I just said, 2 of the 3 games so far he's played this year over 100. The other one got to 70, so he's right in the ballpark. And this thing pays out plus 950 over on DraftKings.
Okay. Nice, I like that. The only like you were talking about the Purdy pick, right? The 2 passing
Yep.
touchdowns.
Yep.
We do like McCaffrey though for the rushing and receiving yards, and I could see pretty easily like a check down pass for a touchdown to McCaffrey. So, there's one of your touchdowns. There's my McCaffrey touchdown. There's a lot of ways in which this could happen, even if it is a very run heavy offense for both teams. We could still see the 2
Right.
plus passing touchdowns from each quarterback going to the running backs who actually catch the football in James Cook and CMC.
Right.
hmm
And who's Purdy's favorite target on that team?
It has to be McCaffrey, and then
No.
I would say Kittle, but
Yes, exactly. It's Kittle. So if you needed somebody else, like we've seen Kittle have massive games since Purdy took over as quarterback over these last 3 years. So like you don't think he can give him a 10-yard run and then all of a sudden Kittle's just zigzagging, bowling people over and gets into the end zone? Like I like it.
yeah, for sure. All right, touchdown scores.
Touchdown scores, Matt's favorite part every time.
Favorite part, no reach for this game though, and I'm going to tell you guys why. It's going to be a lot of snow. I think this game's going to be kind of just straightforward. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, let's take like we could have taken one of the defenses. I thought about taking the Bills defense, but especially
Mm.
with Purdy with the bad shoulder, kind of makes sense. And in a snow game, but I could also see like them getting a pick six and then stumbling because it's snowy on the ground, and then you have a chance for a pick six, but the guy falls down, and there you go. Then they stop the great field position, but no touchdown for the defense. So don't really like that play. No reach here. I think it's just going to be pretty straightforward. We got James Cook and Christian McCaffrey. It's kind of no brainers. We put McCaffrey in the parlay. I think both running backs get a touchdown here. Then my favorite receiver here to actually get another touchdown would be Khalil Shakir. And he's over there at plus 200. James Cook minus 115. McCaffrey minus 130. But I like Shakir here at plus 200. You got to think, like, obviously, I didn't take the two touchdowns from each quarterback, but you got to think you got to play the home team that's actually used to the weather. So obviously the Bills used to the cold weather, even if it's snowing. I think it's going to be, one of their guys that's going to score a receiving touchdown if it's not anybody from, the Niners. So if anybody on that team, I like Shakir. I like his talent, his speed, like the way that he plays football. I like him a little bit more than anybody else to get another touchdown.
Okay.
Didn't think about
Okay.
taking Jordan Mason though. Jordan Mason, he would be like the reach play if he's playing.
See, I was trying to take him last week for yards or a touchdown, and I couldn't find him on the book.
Yeah, it's because it's McCaffrey's backfield.
So, but you're saying Mason is in on? You can take him as a touchdown scorer in this game.
You can. I saw his name on there, but I didn't
Okay.
even look at the odds. But he was farther
Sure.
down there
Sure.
for sure.
Okay. I might have to take a peek at that one later on. That's not going to be part of the video, but do your
Mm-hmm.
due diligence, people, and maybe look at taking a leap on that guy. Okay, so I've just got the three like I always do. I got Christian McCaffrey also at minus 130. I think it's a no-brainer. Obviously, bettors are partial to him just because last couple seasons he's been just like every week, man. He's like clockwork, just bing bing. He's the Titans. The Titans over. That's what he is. And then we've got Cooper Cup at not Cooper Cup, Amari Cooper at plus 155. And then I like George Kittle at plus 210. Like we said, I think George Kittle is Purdy's favorite target, so I like him to get in the end zone, and he's been hot recently. So George Kittle, Amari Cooper, Christian McCaffrey, and yeah, those are my touchdown scores for this game.
There we go. There you guys have it. Those are our picks for the game. That's how we see it going. If you guys think differently, let us know in the comments below. Yeah, I mean, we probably won't take your guys' bets because we are obviously the channel here. We're a little bit smarter than you guys in our opinion. But other than that, I mean, we'll let you guys go. Enjoy Sunday football. Enjoy Sunday night football. And we'll catch you guys in our next video for Monday Night Football.